Okay, so hello guys, welcome to the channel SAP BTP Techie. So in this channel we are going to start a series of SAP UI5 where you will be learning what is SAP UI5, what are the principle of Fiori, and how do we make a simple application using SAP UI5 and SAP Fiori also. Okay, so first let's see what is SAP. So for what questions first comes in your mind is what is SAP, why it is something different from other open source technologies. Because since in our college time or generally open source technologies are the famous one, for example the JavaScript. Okay, then front end, back end. In the front end there are Vue.js, React.js, everything we know everything about it, right? But what is SAP, how it is different from other open source technologies, let's discuss this. So what is SAP first, let us try to understand. So the abbreviation for the SAP is systems, application and products in data processing. So SAP is a German based company, it is a company. Okay, it is a German base, and the abbreviation in German is quite difficult to pronounce, so that's why I taken it in the English form: system, application and products in data processing. That makes it very much easier that we are build. SAP is what trying to say, they are building a systems, they are building applications, they are building product. For what? For data processing. Okay, so what is okay, so SAP is a big business software that companies use to run their daily work. Okay, so what here the sentence is trying to say, that the company, there are multiple companies, there are enterprise applications also. SAP has set its goal to enterprise platform. Okay, so for example there are multiple companies out there. Okay, some are some are like pharma companies, some are plants, then some are startups also, right? So what SAP has addressed is, they want to make their domain specific. They want the inventory, they want the logistic, they want everything which comes under the enterprise. Okay, so that's what their aim is. Okay, next. So next, where the SAP helps. Okay, so SAP helps companies manage things like money, buying and selling product, employee details, inventory, customer orders. So let me explain this in a very simple format. So we need software to maintain our money, right? We need a record book, as like we have a book where we write our what are our credits, what are our debits. Okay, then where we make our payment, where when we sell the gold or anything kind of things. Okay, where money matters in the sense money in a finance matter, like where the money has been spent, where the where the money has credited to your account, how the money is going to circulate. Okay, so SAP does these things in a very great way. Okay, because in finance there are multiple probabilities, there are multiple columns in the table. What I want to say, there are multiple columns in the table means there are multiple fields in the finance, you never know. Okay, finance is a very vast and extreme vast thing to discuss and to know. So SAP does manage finance very well. So now second is buying and selling product. So for the buying and selling product, there comes a whole logistic cycles from supplier to consumer. Okay, and the things or the parts, what we can say, the okay, the milestones which this process have, the from the supplier to consumer, SAP covers each milestone in its software format. Okay, third is the employee detail. Okay, so we know employee onboarding is not that easy. To onboard an employee we need their role details. If then there are two cases, whether they are fresher or they are experienced. If they are fresher, then we have to get the details from their college or any sources, or from themselves itself. Okay, or if they are experienced, then the company has to collect data from their previous company. From the previous company the data is very large because they have to maintain the history. Okay, then there are multiple domains as well. For example, the HR has to collect the UN numbers, then the HR has to collect their previous employment details, any past good or bad records and anything. So employee onboarding is not just we are welcoming an employee, it's a vast cycle, it's a long cycle of task. Okay, so to onboard an employee, an HR has to tick mark all the tasks, and those tasks is has been organized very well by SAP. Inventory in warehouse, we know Blinkit, Zepto. Okay, then there are multiple yeah, Blinkit and Zepto are the best one option in India. Okay, what they do, they deliver the food at your doorstep. They deliver the groceries, foods, or any items in a day-to-day life which we need at your doorstep. Okay, so the inventory, they have to maintain the inventory. Okay, they are not just delivering to you, they are delivering to hundreds of customers, so they have to maintain their inventory, toothbrushes, from toothbrushes to vegetable and everything. So how they maintain it, how do they like they have to maintain a stock, right? For example, 100 carrots has been sold, okay, out of 150, so 50 remains, we need 100 more to restock our today's inventory. So these kind of budgeting, these kind of plannings and everything which a software delivers is perfectly done by SAP systems. Okay, so now third slide is here. Imagine a company like a shop or a factory. So suppose you have a shop. Okay, when you buy a material, what SAP does, SAP saves the whole record, saves the record in the sense, SAP saves it like, for example, you are buying the material, so your name, your age, your time, your date, from whom you are buying, his name, his time, his date, what material it is buying, at what price it is being bought, its unit of measurement, okay, its time, its date. So these are the basic three things. Then if we goes into the finance, okay, for example, GST is being applied to that material. So how GST is being calculated for that material? Is the GST being calculated based on, for example, we are buying it off from US, we are importing from US or from anyone. In India we have GST, but from any other, there are, they have their own tax systems. US one is the complex one. So how they are being charged, how GST is being calculated based on their tax prices. So without interfering or without human interference, SAP is being okay to calculate the GST. Okay, so SAP is calculating the GST or calculating the tax for them now, and storing it. Okay, storing it in the form, for example, we want to like just take an example, we want to uh, we want to create a percentage, or we want a percentage. Okay, so what 20 is 100 of, so what we do, 20 divided by 100 into 100 is 20%. Okay, this is the answer. So it creates a table, it puts the input value is 20, the total is 100, multiplier is 100, then the answer is 20. So there are 4 columns. Like that, SAP does saves the record for material. Similarly, for if we sell the products, it creates a bill. We guys very well know a bill is not just a plus and minus. It nowadays we include tax, we include any discounts, we include any further discounts, any discount coupons and everything. Just billing, just create a bill is not that easy, because bill is a proof of your purchase. So when, okay, then third one is the when you get paid for uh, work you do at your work. Okay, so pay salaries is not also the easy calculation we do. We are not going to pay our employee just on a monthly basis. Sometimes they get bonus, sometimes they are being charged, sometimes we add bonuses, we add their areas or anything. Okay, so like that. Then third, okay, so last but not least, what is SAP? SAP is itself a system which manages everything from 0 to 100. It manages, it gives information about everything in the sense domain. There are multiple domains. There are finance domain, there are material management domain, then there are salary domains, there are HR domains. Okay, in every domain SAP has mastered. It means SAP creates system for multiple domains. Okay, so for example, material management, it itself a domain. Okay, because there are multiple types of materials, there are multiple types of chemicals. Okay, so how we are going to manage all that, how we are going to do inventory logistic for all those, how we are going to do our finance calculation. In finance calculation there are tax calculation and everything. So SAP has segregated these things into multiple modules. There are 24 modules. We can say there are 24 domains which SAP itself is ruling over. And they are saying, we for each okay, for example, your company is outselling any is retail shop. Okay, it is retail shop, or you can say is a production manufacturing company. So your company is creating for example, a pyrite stone. It is delivering from consumer to supplier. So we can consider it is a logistic part. And yeah, logistic part, for example, a logistic part comes in between that. So that logistic whole part, how the transaction is going to happen, how the trajectory is going to happen, how the process is going to happen, everything SAP tells. Okay, so I hope you guys have understood.